of their team. Getting this replay up. Again, a reminder to everyone, engage us in chat. We're here. It's like we've got 87 of you watching us now. It's awesome that everyone's here. We're glad that you took the time out this evening to join us, or from wherever you're at. Actually, tell us in chat where you're from. We'd like to know where our audience is hailing from, if you're in the States or somewhere else.
Yeah, we appreciate you joining us tonight.
Absolutely. So we're just going to go ahead and jump right into this next game, I think, as we're all set.
All right.
All set?
It sounds good to me.
Alright, actually, let me just get the scoreboard up here real quick. Unfortunately, I have to do this every game.
For those of you just joining us, this is the StarCraft 2 Community Team League. It is a league completely about the community. It's about the teams in the community and about the viewership of the community. If there's things that you like, things that you don't like, let us know. We'd love to make some changes and make this the best league that we can make it. We are just at the beginning of this tournament. We've got lots of games coming up in the coming weeks and months, and it'll be really interesting play. We've got great players in the roster, some really accomplished teams, so it should be really interesting.
Absolutely. Gonna jump right into this with that. And go ahead if you want to introduce our players.
All right, in the top right, going for the all-kill from Team Pulse eSports, it is Mumming.
And in the bottom right, we've got our blue Terran. It's going to be from Orbit Gaming, Miszu. So, sorry, I switched to overlays there for a second.
Whoops.
So it looks like another TBT. We've had several of those today. Most have involved the biomine sort of style, with pretty early medevacs, pretty early drops have been the deciding factor. You thinking we might see something different here?
Well, Mumming's been doing really well with this defensive play style and using the drops to counterattack when he needs to. That last game, it seemed like he saw an opening and he decided to go for it, which cinched the game for him. So we'll see what happens here. It'll be interesting to see if Miszu is able to kind of make a defense-breaking army or is able to counter with a similar playstyle of his own.
Miszu is building a barracks right next to his command center. That's a bit of a divergence from the norm, as it's almost been at the ramp every single game. But you don't really have to worry about stopping quite as many run-bys as a Terran. Gas going down for Mumming. Probably, I'm expecting, going to be the same type of opening. Marine into factory. Miszu, on the other hand, has not put down any gas yet. Put down his second supply depot is queued up as his barracks finishes. Orbital command's going to come down. As we see what he does with this low gas opening. Is it going to be maybe 2 or 3 wrecks?
Hard to say at this point. Marine's coming out, though.
Yeah, Marine is coming out. Miszu is stacking up quite the bank. He's got 260 in the bank. I wonder if he's going to be potentially doing a early command center. That's got to be an only play I can think of as a really good way to go for sacking as much gas this early. He's going to stack up to 400. I expect the command center to come down here any second, and it does, it looks like.
There it is.
Right at his natural. So we got command center first against a couple early Marines. Interesting to see what happens here. I think Mumming may have been advantaged to go with that Reaper first so that he could get a scout on that, but I think he'll probably figure out what's up, doing the same thing, rallying his troops at the large ramp so that the SCVs cannot get in to get their scout. Building a remote factory here, so he's hoping that that's not seen by any potential scans.
Mumming did move a Marine forward into his third base just to see if there's any proxy shenanigans going on, but returned home satisfied that nothing out of the ordinary was going on.
Indeed, it seems pretty ordinary. Looks like Mumming's going to be putting down his second gas as he moves into the factory. I'm guessing the starport is going to be about half done now. As I was going to say, it's going to be coming down soon, and saw that it's half done. Command center just finishing up for Miszu. Interested to see his tech path as he puts down 2 gases, doing 2 out of each. So he's doing a planned build, that is for sure, as he's utilizing his geysers with only 4 workers instead of 6. 2 barracks, 3 barracks coming down. Looks like he's going to be getting shields and stim pretty quickly. Bunker going down at the front to protect. Miszu does like his, Mumming does like his mines. He's always had this mine out at the front. It's been very advantageous for him so far.
It looks like he's just going to go straight in for some drop play. He wants to get some mines and marines into the economic line of Miszu.
It does seem to be Mumming's strength is his ability to manage several fronts at once utilizing those medevacs. Second mine joins the fray out front. I love the animation on these mines, by the way, when they're not burrowed yet. They just kind of look around, kind of look confused. Oh, a scan goes down by Miszu in Mumming's base. Looks like it is going to miss that starport and the factory, so he's not going to know that that's coming.
He's got to figure that there is some tech somewhere that he's not looking, though.
Yeah.
As there was not a lot caught in that scan in traditional places that you'd see things.
All he still knows about is just the barracks and 2 supply depots he knew about to begin with.
And Miszu with the 6th sense is putting down a missile turret in both of his lines, figuring that there was something hidden, something coming relatively quickly.
As the medevac does come in, gonna put a drop down or just boost right past. Does put a mine down right next to there, hoping to get a couple kills before Miszu can come and do anything about that. Gets a mine
The
down.
medevac does go down, so those marines are stranded. The mine goes off, but
unfortunate
hits
activation on that mine. It hits the single solitary marine as opposed to the entire tightly grouped batch. Unfortunate. Looks like Mumming is going to have a Banshee coming out. This has been his typical follow-up in the other games. Say, early mine drop into Cloak Banshee. Cloak is about to finish up. A couple more seconds, so the timing on this is pretty good. Glad to see so many of you joining us still. Our viewer numbers continue to go up. If you would be so kind as to go out and just tweet this around to your friends, share it on your Facebook, let everybody know what's going on here.
That Banshee moving in, trying to... Oh, great scan.
Scan.
And that Banshee does go down.
Nice scan by Miszu to take care of that. Almost evaded that scan radius too, almost. Mumming taking the time to put down a natural command center now. Second Banshee coming across the field.
It looks like Mumming's deciding to transition into factory play. 2 factories going down, 1 on the tech lab that was left by the starport. In the meantime, another Banshee's heading over to try and do some more damage.
More mines coming out. Another reactor coming down as well, while Miszu's stim is about half done, so he still does not have that yet. Putting down a starport of his own.
Mumming picking off stray marines as they try to rally to the natural.
Those poor marines just doing their job. Trying to call back home and tell Captain that there's something in the air.
That Banshee has 7 kills now.
The Banshee still hasn't taken a single hit point of damage, although the energy is running low at only 987. So the Cloak is going to be wearing out
Miszu
soon.
has to know it. He's hanging out right underneath. And there it goes. Down the Banshee goes.
Mumming's got a nice defense set up out front. A single take, couple mines. And a nice batch of Marines as the orbital command comes down. Well saturated, perfectly saturated in his main with a nice defensive mine for any drops that might happen. Miszu's base, on the other hand, similarly has a nice clustered core. 3 racks, 1 starport, 1 factory. Just pumping out those Marines.
Miszu is leading in the upgrade chart. He has his combat shield, his stim pack, and his Terran infantry weapons level 1, and in production he has the infantry armor level 1 going down.
I'm surprised that Mumming doesn't have any of his Marine upgrades yet. But he does seem to be focusing more on that mech now at this point, making Marines. Looks like both of these armies are going to very narrowly evade each other on either sides of this here tower. Neither
They see the trickles of each other, and Miszu looks like he catches on first. He's going to try and circle back around.
Oh, the tanks. Oh, the tanks are so exposed.
And they try and siege, but they don't. One shot gets off from one of the tanks before they all go down. Mines burrow. Shots take out the medevacs and most of the Marines, and that gets cleaned up.
Mumming does a nice job with what he had there. Those tanks were unfortunately left wide open in the back of his army since Miszu was able to swing around and kind of catch him off guard a bit, it seemed like. Mumming's now going to rally his mines up at the front as the cooldown expires on their fire. Was he going to get the shot? Yep, he's going to take down one Marine, kill two more. The second mine cleans up the other two.
The Marines do go down, and those mines are going to go down too, as the Marines that survived are cleaning it up.
Nice.
He was able to burrow a single Widow mine at the impending third of Miszu. Looks like it took one shot at that SCV, but it managed to survive with 5 HP.
That cooldown is wearing down, however, so that will not last much longer. But these Hellions are going to come in and clean it up, it looks like. Oh, Mumming would have been...
Miszu comes to the rescue with drops of Marines, just trailing them along.
Mumming would have been well served to get those Hellions in there a couple seconds sooner to take out that single SCV, so it didn't waste a mine shot on it. Would have been useful for kiting those units back. But it looks like Mitsu's going to be loading up a drop of his own to head over to Mumming's base and return some of the fun packages that Mumming has been sending his way. Return to sender, mate. Mumming's got his nice cliffside production facility setting up here. These medevacs are going to swing right in over the top of it. There is a turret there, so they're going to have to boost past that or go towards the south a bit. Oh, threads the needle right through the middle. Drops those Marines off while the medevacs are out of range of the turrets. Nice drop by Miszu.
Really great drop.
Those Marines also
Hellions
were holding a tank hostage as it tried to come out and set up its position. Nice.
Those Hellions come in and threaten to kill everything, though, so Miszu just loads up and goes to the natural. Mumming is forced to pull all his SCVs. Hellions run in again. Miszu does a stim and deals some serious damage to those Hellions.
That was a nice load up in play to move to the natural after pulling all of his units back. Now he loads up again and drops these 2 Marines in the main.
Just trying to do whatever he can. In the meantime, he is sending the rest of his main army up. He knows that he's got Mumming in a tough position right now.
Hellbat's coming out to try and clean up these 2 Marines, but likely he's just going to load up again and do the same thing. But there's going to be tanks awaiting for him this time. Oh, is that missile turret going to... And the missile turret takes out the medevac, so that medevac will not be calling home to mom anymore.
Single
nice
Viking from Mumming heading over to the base of Miszu. It looks like he's just trying to scout out what's over there.
Miszu taking out the tank positions of Mumming as he's pretty well spread out in the front here. Another tank comes down, looks like a bad rally, and walks right
and
through
Mumming,
the middle
GG's.
of Miszu's army. GG.
I gotta say, it looked like Mumming was a little bit flustered that game, and maybe he got a little bit frustrated at the beginning. He had a lot of attacks that didn't really go his way, and so he did a mech switch, which we hadn't seen out of him this game yet, and just wasn't really able to get a whole lot going for him.
Yeah, the point of the game where he seemed like he's been the strongest, where he starts really executing those drops, he was actually getting dropped more than he had been in any of the other games, so that was really holding him back, I think, from doing that. So that's going to take our score on the ace match to 4-1 for Team Orbit has 1 and Pulse Esports has 4. So Pulse is still sitting in a very commanding position. Only one more win can just take this out and bring home the victory.
But Miszu was able to unseat the reigning champion of this match this far. Let's see how far he's able to go before he gets knocked out himself.